Hey everyone, welcome to Birds of a Feather. Today I'm going to show you how to scale up an image on good old-fashioned graph paper here so that we can use it in crafting. This image is something that I'd like to turn into a barn quilt, and right now I've got it on my iPad. So my first step is going to be to brighten up this image. So I'm going to go into Settings, and I'll go into Display and Brightness, and I'm just going to take the brightness up to the brightest level I can. Now I'm going to go back in to where I've got my photo stored, and there it is. I'll just rip off a sheet of my graph paper, and I'm just going to pop this right over. The one thing about this tracing method on an iPad is, if you'll notice, as soon as you touch anything on the iPad, it tends to sort of jump around. So when you place your piece of paper over, you're not going to be consistent because it's going to jump around. So what you need to do is click your home button. You're going to go into your settings. Now, I have an older iPad, so this might not be exactly where this is on your iPad, depending on what model you have. I'm in General. I'm going to go into Accessibility, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, and I'm going to go into Guided Access. Now, I've already done this. I've turned Guided Access on. Once it's on, you're going to go back to the pattern that you want to trace. I'm going to minimize the screen so that you have it fully on the screen exactly how you want it. Then you're going to hit your home button 3 times really quickly. That's going to start the guided access for you, and then if you notice, it locks your screen. So now when you put your piece of paper over and you want to trace it, as I did here, I just added my dots and then took my ruler and connected all the lines. So now I've got my pattern that I can now scale up to whatever size I like. Okay, so now I'm finished with the iPad, and I can exit out of this mode. I'll do that later. And now we're going to do our calculation. So essentially I'm going to take the height of my graphic, I'm going to count the squares. I've got 21 1/4. I want to make this piece 20 inches in total. So I'm going to take the calculator, I'm going to take 20, divide it by 21.25. That gives me 0.94. So now essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the internet and print out a graph that's 1 by 1, because we're working in inches. I'm going to reduce it to 0.94 so that I get the exact same scale that I have here. I'm going to transfer all my lines and dots exactly where they intersect on this piece of graph paper, and that way I'll be able to blow it up to the exact size I need and transfer it onto my substrate. Now, if I can find a link to the graph paper online, I'll include that down in the description. I hope you stay tuned for part 2 of this project where I turn this pattern into a barn quilt. Thanks for watching. Join us again soon for another flip on the fly.